Chapter 5. Confronting the Fallout, Navigating Post-Betrayal Dynamics. 5.1 The decision, stay or leave. When infidelity occurs within a committed relationship, one fundamental question that must be addressed by the aggrieved party is whether to remain in the relationship or dissolve the partnership. This decision is a deeply personal one, and it can be influenced by a multitude of factors that vary from the length and quality of the relationship to cultural or religious beliefs. Very often, the immediate reaction to discovering a partner's infidelity is one of shock and betrayal, which can cloud judgment and prompt decisions that may not align with long-term desires or values. It is essential, therefore, to approach this decision-making process with a clear mind, well-thought-out perspectives, and ideally, the assistance of a counselor or therapist. Comprehending the factors that contributed to the infidelity is crucial to this decision-making process. For both partners, understanding the underpinnings of why the betrayal occurred can offer insights into whether the issues in the relationship are able to be resolved. The motives behind the infidelity and the level of remorse shown by the unfaithful partner play significant roles in this assessment. It is also vital to consider whether this was a one-time transgression or part of a pattern of behavior. A pattern of infidelity may indicate deeper and more systemic issues within the relationship or the individuals themselves, which may be more challenging to reconcile and may require more intensive interventions or suggest that ending the relationship is the best course of action. For the party contemplating whether to stay or leave, evaluating their own capacity for forgiveness and their willingness to work through the damage to the relationship is essential. Forgiveness is a complex and multi-layered process that involves letting go of anger and resentment. It also encompasses whether the person can rebuild trust with their partner. Trust is the foundation of any significant relationship, and once it has been breached, it can take a considerable amount of time and effort to restore. This is compounded if the betrayal has deeply eroded the individual's self-esteem or worldview. One must consider whether the relationship can continue without trust, and whether they believe that trust can be genuinely rebuilt. The practical considerations when deciding whether to stay or leave are also substantial. Shared finances, property, and especially children can present complicated logistical issues to resolve if the relationship ends. Each partner must contemplate not only what is best for themselves, but also what is best for their dependents. Children especially may experience trauma and confusion in the wake of their parents' separation, and the implications of this must be weighed carefully. If the relationship has been long-term, severing it can also significantly disrupt social and familial networks that have been built around the couple. The impact of external pressures and opinions can be significant during the post-betrayal period. Friends, family, and cultural expectations can influence an individual's decision-making process, sometimes offering support or guidance, but at other times compounding the stress and difficulty of the situation. It is important for individuals to distinguish between advice that is given for their own well-being and advice that is given based on the needs or values of others. While the support system can offer invaluable help during trying periods, decisions about the future of a relationship must ultimately reflect the needs and desires of the individuals directly involved. Individual counseling or couples therapy can be instrumental in navigating the aftermath of infidelity. Engaging a professional who has experience in dealing with relationship issues provides an objective platform on which to explore feelings and choices. Therapy can offer tools for communication that can help both parties to articulate their thoughts, feelings, and expectations more effectively. For some, therapy provides a space to explore the underlying issues that may have led to the infidelity, and to gain skills to strengthen the relationship if they decide to continue it. For others, therapy can be a safe space to process the grief and anger so they can move on with their lives if they choose to leave. The process of deciding to stay or leave can be a lengthy one, where emotions fluctuate over time. In the immediate aftermath of discovering infidelity, many individuals experience intense emotional responses that can oscillate between anger, sadness, shock, and even apathy. As time passes, these emotions may calm down, allowing for more rational and long-term thinking to prevail. Throughout this process, individuals must give themselves permission and time to experience these feelings without rushing into a decision. They must also be willing to reevaluate their decision as circumstances and feelings evolve. The role of the unfaithful partner in the decision-making process is another factor to consider. If the partner who committed the infidelity is actively seeking forgiveness, showing genuine contrition, and willing to work on the issues that led to the affair, it can influence the hurt partner's decision to stay. Simultaneously, the unfaithful partner must also respect the hurt partner's need for time and space to make a decision, and the possibility that the decision may not be in favor of maintaining the relationship. Open and honest dialogue is necessary, as is the recognition that the decision to work towards reconciliation must be mutual for it to have any chance of success. In some circumstances, deciding to leave a relationship after infidelity can be empowering. It can signify a refusal to accept behavior that goes against an individual's values or needs. Conversely, deciding to stay and work through the issues can also be empowering, demonstrating a commitment to personal values of forgiveness and understanding the complexity of human relations and imperfections. Both decisions require strength and a clear sense of self-awareness. One should not be considered a failure and the other a success. They are simply different paths based on individual circumstances and choices. Eventually, the decision to stay with or leave a partner after infidelity is intensely personal and must be made with great care. It is based not only on the present feelings of betrayal, but also on a thoughtful consideration of the future. It requires an evaluation of numerous factors, including the depth of the betrayal, the potential for change, the willingness to forgive, the impact on personal and shared lives, and the external influences present. Any decision should be made with attention to self-care, and with the understanding that there is no one-size-fits-all answer to such a complex and deeply human problem. Often the best approach is one that is open to reassessment and change, recognizing that the true measure of any decision lies in the ability to create a path toward well-being and fulfillment, whether that is within the relationship or outside of it. 5.2 Impact on marital dynamics. Infidelity drastically alters the dynamics of a marriage, fundamentally shaking the foundation of trust upon which the relationship was built. The initial response upon the discovery of a spouse's infidelity can elicit an intense emotional crisis for both partners. For the betrayed, feelings of hurt, confusion, betrayal, and anger are anticipated reactions. Partners often report a sense of grief, akin to mourning the loss of the marriage they thought they had. The infidelity signifies not only a breach of trust, but a disruption in the narrative of their shared history and future together. For the unfaithful partner, the revelation can come with its own set of complex emotions, including guilt, shame, and fear of loss. Even if the act of infidelity was a deliberate choice, facing the consequences of their actions is a different challenge. The process of self-reflection can be painful, and it often forces an infidel to confront personal failings and the reality of the harm they inflicted. This confrontation can in turn lead to defensiveness, which complicates open communication. Importantly, the unfaithful partner must come to terms with their reasons for straying and assess their commitment to the marriage moving forward. The discovery of an affair typically triggers a reevaluation of the marital relationship. Trust is the cornerstone of any relationship, and once it's broken, rebuilding it requires time and concerted effort from both parties. The aftermath of an affair calls into question previous interactions and decisions, as the betrayed partner may overanalyze past events, searching for missed signs or evidence of deception. This process of questioning and doubt can extend to questioning one's judgment, self-worth, and the sincerity of the partner's past expressions of love and commitment. Communication between spouses often undergoes a significant transformation following infidelity. Discussions that were once mundane may become charged with emotion or tension. Conversations may frequently turn into arguments, with both parties struggling to find a new equilibrium. The betrayed partner may demand details about the affair, seeking to understand the extent of the betrayal, whereas the unfaithful partner might resist providing such information, hoping to avoid further conflict or to protect the betrayed partner from additional pain. There may also be a persistent fear of further hurt, which can cause the betrayed partner to withdraw emotionally as a means of self-protection. The sexual dynamic within the marriage is likely to be profoundly affected by infidelity. For some couples, there may be a complete cessation of sexual activity as the betrayed partner grapples with feelings of disgust or betrayal, while in other cases, there can be a temporary increase in sexual encounters, possibly driven by a desire to reaffirm the relationship or reclaim a connection. However, for this improved intimacy to be sustainable, it must be built on a renewed basis of emotional connection and trust, a process which typically requires considerable time and emotional work. Financial stability can also be a hidden casualty of infidelity. If the unfaithful partner funneled resources to maintain the affair, this can lead to financial strain. Moreover, the process of counseling or divorce, should the couple choose either path, can be costly. Financial deceit is often coupled with sexual infidelity, further complicating the process of regaining trust. Discussions about money, once pragmatic, can become emotionally fraught, as every expenditure may be scrutinized for potential hidden meanings or implications of further dishonesty. Parenting and co-parenting responsibilities are not immune to the effects of infidelity. Children are highly observant and sensitive to changes in parental behavior and the emotional climate at home. While the adults may try to shield their children from the conflict, the tension can create an atmosphere of instability and anxiety among younger family members. The couple's ability to effectively cooperate and communicate regarding parenting decisions may decline, impacting their effectiveness and possibly the well-being of their children. The couple's social life is another area that can be significantly impacted by infidelity. Friends and family members may become divided or take sides. Isolation can occur, as the couple might withdraw from shared social networks to avoid judgment or discomfort. Invitations to events may decrease or at best become awkward. For some, this social fallout can create a strong sense of isolation just when support systems are most needed. Re-establishing a social life can require the couple or individual partners to rebuild relationships or even form new friendships entirely. Religion and spirituality can offer a source of solace or become a battleground in the aftermath of an affair. If the couple shared religious beliefs, the betrayed partner might feel an acute sense of spiritual betrayal as well, which could complicate forgiveness and reconciliation. Disagreements about the appropriate religious response or recourse can emerge. On the other hand, the couple might find common ground in seeking spiritual guidance or comfort, giving them a foundation upon which to rebuild their relationship. In addressing the fallout of an affair, the dynamics within a marriage can evolve in unpredictable ways. Some couples may emerge from the crisis with a stronger, more honest relationship, whereas others may find the breach irreparable. Professional assistance in the form of marriage counseling or individual therapy can be beneficial, facilitating communication, helping each person understand the other's emotions, and developing strategies for rebuilding trust. Recognizing individual needs alongside the needs of the marriage is crucial for recovery and points towards the possibility of a new chapter of the relationship, defined by growth and renewed commitment. The path forward after infidelity is not linear, nor is it the same for every couple. Navigating the altered landscape of marriage post-betrayal requires an open, honest assessment of the past and present, as well as a mutual commitment to the future, if the decision is made to continue together. It requires recognizing the changes within each partner and identifying the needs that went unmet within the marital context. Understanding these elements is vital for making informed, conscious choices about their life together moving ahead. 5.3 Family and children in the aftermath. The discovery of infidelity often sets off a cascade of consequences, not only for the individuals in the relationship, but also for the larger family unit, particularly when children are involved. An affair can shake the foundation of what a family stands for, and can lead to a reevaluation of relationships and roles within that unit. A family's resilience in the aftermath of betrayal is contingent on the actions and responses of its members as they navigate this challenging landscape. This section will delve into the various impacts of infidelity on family dynamics in children, strategies for mitigating negative effects, and steps toward healing and re-establishing a sense of normalcy. When one parent has been unfaithful, the discovery can disrupt the equilibrium of the family environment. Children, regardless of age, may sense the tension or changes in emotional climate, even if they are unaware of the specifics. In some cases, the affair may become known to children, either inadvertently or through deliberate disclosure. This can lead to feelings of confusion and betrayal, comparable to those experienced by the non-adulterous partner. It is imperative to consider the developmental stage of children when addressing the affair, as their understanding and ability to cope will vary. The impact of infidelity on children should not be underestimated. Children may experience a range of emotions including shock, anger, sadness, and anxiety. Their trust in the offending parent may be damaged, and their views on relationships in marriage could be negatively influenced, potentially affecting their future relationships. Some children may internalize the conflict and blame themselves, much like adults sometimes do, which can harm their self-esteem and sense of security. Younger children might regress in development, while older children and teenagers might exhibit behavioral problems or academic difficulties. Communication is a crucial aspect of managing the fallout within a family. Open and honest dialogue, appropriate to the age and maturity of the children, is important. Avoiding the vilification of the unfaithful parent is essential, as maintaining respect for both parents aids in preserving a child's psychological well-being. The conversation should also reassure children of both parents' love and the situation's adult nature, making it clear that the infidelity is not their fault or their responsibility to resolve. The role of the non-adulterous parent is challenging, as they are tasked with balancing their emotional turmoil with the need to provide stability for their children. This parent might struggle with emotions that could interfere with parenting, such as anger, wanting to spend less time with the children to avoid contact with the other parent, or overburdening the children with their emotional needs. Seeking professional counseling for themselves and possibly for their children can be an effective way to manage these challenges while striving to maintain a stable environment for the family. The offending parent also has a responsibility to address the repercussions of their actions on the family. Rebuilding trust is a long and arduous path that requires consistent behavior, transparency, and patience. This parent must work to regain their children's trust and respect over time, demonstrating their commitment to the family and the changes they are making to prevent future indiscretions. Moreover, they should be prepared to engage in open conversations with their children, validating their feelings and answering their questions to the best of their ability and appropriateness. Extended family members, such as grandparents, aunts, and uncles, can also be affected by the infidelity. They may experience feelings of betrayal, disappointment, and concern for the family's well-being. Their support, however, can be instrumental in helping the family through this difficult period. Yet it is important for them to maintain neutrality and not to take sides, as doing so can create greater conflict and tension within the family. The decision on whether to stay together or separate after infidelity is a complex one that has significant implications for the entire family. If a decision to separate is made, it is essential that the transition is handled with care and attention to the needs of the children. This means creating a parenting plan that ensures continued access to both parents and provides as much stability and consistency as possible. It is vital that the reasons for the separation are explained in a way that children can understand, without exposing them to adult conflicts. If the decision is made to remain together, setting a roadmap for healing becomes critical. It is advisable for the couple to engage in therapy, not only individually, but as a family unit. This creates a safe space for addressing the issues that led to the infidelity, and enables the family to work through the betrayal together. It is also an opportunity for parents to model conflict resolution and emotional resilience for their children. Moreover, the family ecosystem must be nurtured during the healing process. This may involve creating new family rituals or traditions that foster togetherness and healing. It also includes prioritizing family time that allows for positive interactions, fun, and the rebuilding of fond memories. Re-establishing a routine is beneficial for children, as it provides a sense of normalcy and security amidst turmoil. Finally, the prospect of recovery from the impact of infidelity on the family framework depends significantly on the willingness of family members to seek and to offer forgiveness, to engage in open communication, and to be patient with one another. It is a gradual process that will have its setbacks. However, with commitment to the family's well-being and sustained effort, families can overcome the deep wounds caused by infidelity and find a path forward, perhaps emerging stronger for having navigated such a difficult experience. This underscores the potential for individuals and families not only to recover from such a breach of trust, but also to find a way to grow and learn from the ordeal. 5.4 Social Stigma and External Judgments. Infidelity has been, historically and culturally, one of the more heavily stigmatized behaviors within relationships. This social stigma is multifaceted, involving a web of judgments from various societal angles. Religions traditionally condemn extramarital affairs, cultural norms often frown upon them, and even contemporary media frequently portrays adultery in a negative light, although sometimes glamorized. The resultant public opinion tends to be critical of those who engage in affairs, labeling them as homewrecker, immoral, or selfish. This section aims to dissect the layers of social stigma and external judgment that individuals involved in infidelity may face, as well as provide insights on navigating these complicated social dynamics. The experience of stigma following an infidelity can significantly impact the mental health and social relationships of all parties involved, including the partner who was unfaithful, the person who was betrayed, and the third party in the affair. These individuals can encounter condemnation from friends, family members, acquaintances, and the community at large. For someone who is engaged in infidelity, this stigma can manifest as shame, guilt, and social isolation. These feelings can be exacerbated by the reactions of others, making the process of addressing the underlying personal and relational issues more difficult. The condemnation can increase the sense of being misunderstood, which may discourage open communication and seeking support. The partner who was cheated on often faces a different set of stigmas. There may be questions about what they did or did not do to cause the infidelity, or implied criticisms of their desirability, attentiveness, or worth. These judgments can lead to a double victimization, where they suffer the initial betrayal and subsequently endure suspicion and blame. Additionally, there is a societal expectation that the betrayed partner should leave the relationship following an affair. If they choose to stay and work through the issues with their partner, they may be judged for this choice as well. This creates a challenging environment for healing and may place additional strain on the injured party's psychological well-being. For the third party involved in the affair, the social stigma can also be severe. Often labeled as the other woman or other man, they may be seen as the primary disruptor of the relationship, regardless of the complexities that the situation may entail. This can lead to social ostracization and the imposition of severe moral judgments. While the role of the third party in an affair is indeed contentious, the binary view of them as solely responsible for the damage fails to acknowledge the contributions of all involved parties. It also overlooks the possibility that they were unaware of their role in the betrayal, assuming that they were knowingly complicit in harming another person's relationship. In addressing the social stigma associated with infidelity, it is essential to be aware of the power of language. The labels and descriptors used to discuss those involved in affairs carry with them significant connotations and can perpetuate the stigma. The use of charged terms serves to reinforce negative stereotypes and can maintain a cycle of shame and silence. Instead, reframing the language to focus on the behavior rather than the individual's character can open up avenues for understanding and discussion. This shift also has the potential to reduce the perpetuation of stigma, enabling more productive and compassionate conversations around the subject. Moreover, the intensity of social stigma and judgment can vary based on gender, with women often facing harsher criticism when it comes to infidelity. While society has historically been more forgiving of men who cheat, branding it as a regrettable but almost expected behavior, women have been disproportionately penalized both socially and legally for similar actions. This gender disparity is underpinned by entrenched beliefs about the sexual behaviors of men and women, and can lead to unequal and unfair consequences for women involved in affairs. The effect of the social stigma on children and family units is another critical consideration. Children may overhear conversations or detect tensions arising from the judgments placed on their family. They may also face direct stigma from their peers and within their social environments, leading to feelings of shame, confusion, and concern for their familial relationships. The extended family may endure its own set of judgments, both internally and externally, as family loyalty and the proper handling of the situation may come under scrutiny. In navigating the social stigma and external judgments, support networks play a crucial role. Finding and cultivating a network of understanding individuals or groups, such as therapists, support groups, or non-judgmental friends, can offer a necessary reprieve from the relentless external criticism. These networks can provide emotional support, practical advice, and an alternative perspective that acknowledges the complexity of human relationships and the multifaceted nature of infidelity. Building resilience against the social stigma can also involve the development of self-compassion and the practice of reframing one's narrative. Individuals can benefit from learning to separate their actions from their self-worth and recognizing that while they may have made mistakes, this does not make them unworthy of empathy and growth. Reframing the unfortunate event in a broader life context can aid in understanding its implications without allowing it to define one's entire existence. Furthermore, when addressing the fallout of infidelity in a public way, such as through social media, community involvement, or in a professional setting, it is crucial to establish boundaries. Deciding what information to share, with whom, and in what context can help manage external judgments and protect the emotional well-being of all parties involved. Creating a coherent and considered narrative can diminish the impact of rumors and speculation, thereby allowing for more controlled engagement with the wider social environment. Lastly, individuals and couples dealing with the aftermath of infidelity need to be aware that social stigma and external judgments are reflections of societal values and perceptions, many of which may be outdated or lack nuance. Understanding that these judgments do not have to dictate personal choices or define one's identity can provide the strength necessary to move forward. Stigma can be a significant obstacle in the healing journey, but it can also serve as a catalyst for individual and collective growth when approached with courage and clarity. By confronting these perceived judgments with a strong sense of self and defined values, those affected can navigate post-betrayal dynamics in a way that prioritizes their own healing and development over external approval. 5.5 Communication and Boundary Setting Post-Affair. Communication after infidelity has been discovered or disclosed is a critical component of the healing process for all parties involved. At this juncture, emotions typically run high, trust is at an all-time low, and the future of the relationship hangs in a delicate balance. It is vital for both partners to engage in open, honest, and respectful communication, to assess the damage done, and to decide if there is a mutual desire to repair the relationship. Both the unfaithful partner and the one who has been betrayed must be prepared to discuss difficult topics, including the reasons behind the infidelity, the details of the affair, and the impact it has had on both their partner and the relationship. They need to listen actively to one another, ensuring they give each other a chance to speak without interruption or judgment, which can be facilitated by setting aside dedicated times for these conversations when they are not rushed or distracted. The establishment of boundaries is also an indispensable step following infidelity. Boundaries help to define what is acceptable behavior going forward and what is not, creating a framework within which the relationship can begin to heal. This may involve setting new privacy limits on personal devices, agreeing to check in at certain times of the day if separation is necessary, or deciding on the types of interactions that are appropriate with friends or colleagues. It is important for these boundaries to be clearly defined, manageable, and subject to adjustment as the couple works through the healing process. They should be set collaboratively, with both partners contributing to the conversation so that they are equally invested in upholding them. When it comes to communication, expression of emotions in a controlled and constructive manner is important. Both individuals will likely experience a wide range of intense emotions. Anger, sadness, confusion, and disappointment are common. While these feelings are understandable, it is important to express them without resorting to harmful or destructive language. Having a strategy in place, such as using I statements when conveying feelings, can minimize defensiveness and encourage empathy. For example, instead of saying, "You've ruined everything," a partner might say, "I feel devastated by the betrayal and need to understand why it happened." Such strategies pave the way for more productive conversations in reducing the likelihood of escalating conflicts. The frequency and mode of communication must be thoughtfully considered. In the immediate aftermath of disclosure, it might be necessary to communicate often to process the initial shock and anger. However, constant discussion about the affair can be counterproductive, creating a cycle of hurt that hinders forward movement. Partners may decide to establish a time limit for daily discussions about the affair to prevent it from overwhelming every aspect of their relationship. Moreover, some conversations may benefit from being conducted in a mediated environment, such as with a therapist, where both individuals feel secure enough to voice their most painful thoughts and feelings. Communication and boundary setting post-affair should include discussions about the future of the relationship. If both partners choose to work on the relationship, they need to discuss what that looks like and set specific goals for moving forward. These could involve attending regular therapy sessions, scheduling weekly check-ins to discuss the health of the relationship, and forming a plan for rebuilding trust. If the decision is to separate, discussions will need to focus on the logistics of that process, including living arrangements, finances, and, if applicable, co-parenting agreements. Regardless of the choice, clear communication about expectations and plans will reduce misunderstandings and additional emotional pain. The betrayed partner might need to ask specific questions regarding the affair to gain closure and rebuild trust. It is critical for the unfaithful partner to answer these questions with honesty, regardless of how difficult it may be. Evading questions, lying, or omitting details can further damage the relationship and prevent healing from taking place. The betrayed partner should be allowed to ask questions at their own pace, and the unfaithful partner needs to be patient, understanding that this is a part of the healing process. The role of forgiveness in communication after an affair is integral. Forgiveness is not about excusing the infidelity or forgetting it happened, but rather about letting go of the anger and resentment that can poison any attempts at reconciliation or personal healing. It is a complicated process that occurs over time and should not be rushed. Communication should support the exploration of what forgiveness means for the individuals involved, and acknowledge that forgiveness does not necessarily imply reconciliation. One can forgive and still decide to end the relationship. The aftermath of infidelity might bring to light previous issues within the relationship that need to be addressed. Communication should serve to not only navigate the immediate effects of the affair, but also to explore and work on underlying problems that may have contributed to the breakdown of trust. This could include topics such as emotional disconnection, unmet needs, or incompatible expectations that went unaddressed and allowed dissatisfaction to fester. By dealing with these deeper issues, the couple can better understand how the relationship reached a point where infidelity occurred. After an affair, one or both partners may experience a sense of grief for the relationship that was, or what they believed it to be. Acknowledging and communicating about this sense of loss is crucial for personal and relational healing. It requires the couple to reflect on what aspects of the relationship have irrevocably changed and what they mourn. This can be an incredibly vulnerable yet transformative part of the recovery process, as it can lead to a fresh perspective on the relationship and what they want from it moving forward. Finally, throughout the process of communication and boundary setting, it's important to celebrate the progress and acknowledge the efforts being made by both partners. Recognizing positive steps, regardless of how small, can provide motivation and hope. This also includes acknowledging personal growth and understanding gained through the experience, as well as appreciation for each other's commitment to navigating through the devastation of an affair. Maintaining a positive aspect in their communication helps to balance the pain with progress and can contribute to a more resilient and potentially more intimate relationship in the future. 5.6 Rebuilding Trust, Lost and Found. When infidelity occurs, the betrayal ruptures the very foundation on which a relationship is built. Trust, once considered unassailable, is shattered in the aftermath of such an event. Rebuilding trust is a challenging process that demands patience, commitment, and consistent effort from both parties. It is not a linear journey, nor is it a quick one. It involves an understanding that the pre-infidelity trust cannot be restored to its original state. Instead, a new form of trust must be cultivated from the ruins. Initiating the rebuilding process requires a clear decision from both partners who commit to the relationship's recovery. The partner who has been unfaithful must exhibit genuine remorse, acknowledging their wrongdoing and its impact on their partner and the relationship. This remorse is only the beginning, as their actions moving forward will speak louder than any apology. They must be willing to live with increased transparency and accept accountability for their past actions while actively proving their dedication to fidelity and the relationship's health. For the betrayed, the road to rebuilding trust is fraught with doubt and vulnerability. It may involve grappling with conflicting emotions, such as love for their partner and anger over the betrayal. Seeking clarity on the reasons behind the infidelity and the specific factors that led to it can be a crucial step. Understanding does not excuse the behavior, but it may provide a framework for rebuilding. The betrayed must decide whether they can envision a future with their partner despite the breach of trust, and must openly communicate their needs and boundaries as the couple navigates the path to recovery. The couple must recognize that trust will not be restored through grand gestures or promises alone. It is the accumulation of consistent everyday actions that will slowly mend the broken trust. This includes setting and respecting new boundaries, having regular check-ins to discuss emotions and progress, and demonstrating reliability in both words and actions. The unfaithful partner must be willing to accept and understand why trust-building behaviors, such as sharing passwords or details about their whereabouts, are temporarily necessary to help their partner feel secure. Consistent truth-telling forms the cornerstone of trust building. The unfaithful partner needs to develop a habit of honesty, even when the truth is uncomfortable or revealing. This transparency extends to future temptations or slip-ups, as covering such instances will only serve to deepen the mistrust. Rebuilding trust is contingent upon the creation of a safe space where both partners can discuss fears and weaknesses without judgment, a process that can only thrive in an environment of openness and truth. Rebuilding trust also involves re-establishing intimacy and connection in the relationship. This can only be achieved by addressing the emotional needs of both partners and actively working to meet them. Shared experiences, quality time, physical affection, and reaffirming the relationship's value all play a role in rebuilding intimacy. It is also important for the couple to revisit and perhaps redefine their shared goals and values, ensuring that they are aligned and invested in a mutual future. The healing process necessitates the establishment of a new normal. This may involve new traditions, routines, or ways of communicating. The couple might also benefit from exploring new interests together or investing in shared projects that foster collaboration and a renewed sense of partnership. It is important to note that healing does not mean forgetting the betrayal, but rather integrating the experience into the relationship's new narrative without it defining the entirety of their bond. Professional guidance can be an invaluable asset for couples struggling to rebuild trust. Therapists or counselors specializing in infidelity can provide tools and strategies to navigate the complex emotions and dynamics at play. They can help facilitate difficult conversations, establish a recovery plan, and offer objective support as the couple moves through the healing phases. Therapy also provides a space for individual healing, as the personal growth of each partner is critical for the relationship's overall recovery. Recovery from betrayal is not solely about salvaging the relationship, it is also about personal healing and growth. The betrayed partner must work through feelings of inadequacy, betrayal, and anger. This personal journey may involve building self-esteem, engaging in self-care practices, and, at times, processing emotions through individual therapy. Similarly, the unfaithful partner must introspectively confront the reasons behind their actions and work toward personal development to prevent future infidelity. The unfortunate reality is that not all relationships will survive the aftermath of infidelity. In some cases, the breach of trust is too profound, or the effort required to rebuild is more than one or both partners can commit to. It is essential to recognize when the damage is irreparable, and the healthiest option might be to part ways. If the relationship does end, both individuals can still learn valuable lessons about trust, communication, and their personal boundaries, which can inform their future relationships. However, for those who successfully navigate the turbulent waters of rebuilding trust, the outcome can often be a relationship that is stronger and more resilient than before. The process can lead to a deeper understanding and appreciation of each other, as well as a relationship that is more honest and open than it was prior to the betrayal. A renewed relationship, built on the pillars of true remorse, consistent effort, and the willingness to forgive, can emerge. This new iteration of the relationship, forged by trial and deep introspection, often has a more mature, realistic foundation based on genuine emotional connection and renewed commitment. The process itself, painstaking as it is, proves that trust, once lost, can indeed be found and refined into something more enduring. 5.7 Financial and legal implications. Infidelity not only has a profound emotional impact, but also triggers significant financial and legal implications. When extramarital affairs are revealed, the consequences often extend into the legal realm, particularly in the context of a marital dissolution. It is essential to understand that the financial repercussions can be complex and vary considerably depending on the couple's geographical location, the involvement of a prenuptial agreement, and the local legal framework governing marital assets and responsibilities. An affair can impact the distribution of marital assets, the assessment of alimony, child support considerations, and even the legal fees incurred during divorce proceedings. The initial financial impact felt by couples dealing with infidelity often comes in the form of immediate expenses, such as therapy and counseling sessions. These services are essential for many in navigating the emotional turmoil following an affair. However, such expenses can place a strain on shared finances, especially if long-term therapy is needed. Furthermore, if one spouse used marital funds to support their affair or a lifestyle associated with it, such as purchasing gifts for a third party or funding trips, the financial strain becomes even greater. This can provoke heated disputes during the divorce process, as it involves a betrayal of trust and the misuse of shared resources. When a marriage ends due to an affair, one significant legal consideration is the division of property and assets. In some jurisdictions, infidelity may influence judges' decisions when distributing marital assets, particularly if one spouse can demonstrate that the other used shared resources in the context of the affair. However, many areas operate under a no-fault divorce system, meaning that the reasons behind the dissolution, such as infidelity, do not factor into the legal distribution of assets. Parties must therefore gain an understanding of the laws specific to their region to have realistic expectations during the divorce process. In terms of spousal support or alimony, the financial implications of infidelity might become a factor. If the unfaithful spouse has a higher income, the faithful spouse might seek additional support, arguing that the affair brought about undue emotional stress and potentially harmed their ability to maintain employment or advance in their career. Alternatively, if a spouse's affair leads directly to the breakdown of the marriage, judges in some jurisdictions may be inclined to consider this when determining alimony. However, similar to asset division, not all areas permit the consideration of infidelity in these determinations, underlining the importance of legal counsel to navigate these complexities. The presence and enforcement of a prenuptial agreement also come into play in the financial aftermath of an affair. Some couples draft prenuptial agreements with specific clauses that address infidelity, often compelling financial penalties should an affair occur. If such a prenuptial agreement exists, it may greatly influence financial settlements during a divorce. Despite the prevailing belief, prenuptial agreements are not solely the domain of the wealthy. They are a legal tool available to any couple and can provide clear directives in the event of a marriage's end due to infidelity or other reasons. Child support is another financial obligation influenced by the fallout from an affair. The parent who takes primary custody of the children may seek child support from the other, and while infidelity itself usually does not impact the amount of child support, the actions of the unfaithful parent can. If the affair has led to financial irresponsibility or a significant change in circumstances, these factors may be relevant in the calculation of child support payments. The best interests of the children are paramount, and courts are typically focused on ensuring that their financial needs are met following their parents' separation. Legal fees represent a potentially sizable expense in the process of divorce. These fees escalate particularly in contentious divorces where infidelity is a factor. In some cases, the process of legally establishing fault can be lengthy, requiring detailed investigations and substantial evidence. This can increase the time required to resolve the divorce and, as a result, the associated legal fees. It is important for both parties to weigh the potential benefits against the costs when deciding how to approach their situation legally. Retirement accounts and pensions are other critical financial areas affected by divorce after infidelity. These funds are often considered marital property and are therefore subject to division upon divorce. The division of these assets is frequently complicated and can depend on the length of the marriage, contributions made by each spouse, and specific regulations governing these accounts. In the absence of an agreement between the parties, a court will determine the division, which may be affected by the details surrounding the infidelity. Tax implications are also a part of the financial equation following infidelity and divorce. Filing status, dependency exemptions, and the handling of joint financial liabilities can all be affected. Transferring assets or paying alimony and child support can carry significant tax consequences for both parties. It is crucial, therefore, to consult tax professionals, in addition to legal counsel when going through a divorce, to ensure an optimal financial outcome and compliance with tax laws. Lastly, the economic prospects and earning potential of the parties involved can be affected by the infidelity. The unfaithful spouse may experience damage to their professional reputation, particularly if the affair was public or involved a workplace relationship. This professional fallout can impact their ability to earn income and thus influence financial settlements or support payments. On the other hand, the faithful spouse may find themselves at a career disadvantage if they need to re-enter the workforce, increase their earning capacity, or balance single parenthood with employment after a period of dependency on their partner's income. Navigating the financial and legal implications of infidelity is a complex process that necessitates careful consideration and professional guidance. Understanding these consequences can assist individuals in crafting a strategy to protect their interests and secure their financial futures following the betrayal of infidelity. Legal and financial professionals provide indispensable aid in addressing these multifaceted challenges and help ensure fair and equitable resolutions in the aftermath of such personal turmoil. 5.8 Rebuilding a Shared Future. Rebuilding a shared future after infidelity is one of the most challenging processes a partnership can undergo. It requires a steadfast commitment to change, hard work, patience, and an ample amount of time. For couples choosing to stay together, the aim is to create a new relationship from the ashes of the old one. This process starts with gaining a clear understanding that the previous relationship, as it was known, is over. Acknowledging this is crucial, because it allows for the establishment of new rules, dynamics, and trust-building measures without the burden of trying to revive what has been irreparably altered. A clean slate offers the opportunity to redefine the relationship, establish new goals, and work collaboratively toward a future that aligns with both partners' reevaluated values and needs. Creating a new foundation is an essential part of this journey, and it involves laying down the cornerstones of honesty, transparency, and communication. Open and frequent communication sets the stage for the rebuilding process, allowing for the continuous exchange of thoughts, feelings, and concerns. The injured party must feel heard and validated, while the offending party needs to consistently demonstrate reliability and honesty. Implementing new practices such as regular check-ins, discussions about boundaries, and collaborative decision-making can fortify this foundation. Both individuals must be clear about their expectations and diligent in respecting the established boundaries, and there must be an understanding that mistakes made during this period require immediate attention and remediation. The emotional turmoil following the discovery of infidelity is often characterized by anger, hurt, and confusion. To move forward, both partners need to express and work through these feelings. Counseling or therapy may be beneficial in providing a structured environment for such discussions. Here, the focus should be on understanding the context of the affair, addressing the underlying issues that may have contributed to it, and recognizing the emotions that have surfaced as a result. Therapy is not a one-stop solution. Rather, it is part of a comprehensive strategy that includes personal reflection, emotional regulation exercises, and concrete actions to avoid similar situations in the future. Trust is the most significant casualty of infidelity, and rebuilding it is a painstaking process that happens incrementally. The partner who was unfaithful must understand the gravity of their actions and the shadow it casts on future interactions. Rebuilding trust involves consistent and dependable behavior over time. Small acts of fidelity and integrity contribute to the larger picture of a reliable partner. This means keeping promises, showing up when expected, being accessible, and making the private details of one's life an open book to their partner, at least for a period during the healing process. The couple must jointly decide what to reveal about the affair to others. Discussions about who needs to know and how much they need to know are important for several reasons. It allows the couple to manage the narrative of their relationship as they see fit, and to control their privacy levels. It also prepares them for potential feedback or advice from family or friends, which may not always be beneficial or welcome. Setting these boundaries is an exercise in reclaiming their story and establishing a sense of unity in facing external influences. For many, spiritual beliefs or faith can act as a source of strength and guidance during this trying period. Delving into their spiritual side can help individuals find forgiveness, hope, and a path forward. Whether practiced individually or as a couple, spiritual or religious activities can provide a sense of peace and purpose. This might involve engaging in joint prayer, meditation, or attending services together. It's not merely about religious observance, it's an exploration of meaning, ethics, and the values that they wish to exemplify in their relationship moving forward. Rekindling the emotional and physical connection between partners is also a key element of rebuilding. The act of betrayal often disrupts the intimacy that once existed, making it challenging to reconnect on a deeper level. Couples must work together to restore their emotional bond before moving on to physical intimacy. This ensures that when they do become physically close again, it is a reflection of an emotional closeness that has been carefully reconstructed. Engaging in shared experiences, expressing affection, and spending quality time together can bolster emotional connectivity and signal a recommitment to the relationship. Future plans and dreams that once held a place of prominence in the relationship may need revision or may no longer be relevant post-affair. It's necessary for the couple to revisit these plans and goals, to realign them with the current reality and their evolved understanding of each other. This might mean starting from scratch with some plans or modifying them to fit the new relationship dynamics. Discussions around future aspirations are indicative of a desire to move forward together, and are critical stepping stones towards a shared life. It's important to establish new rituals or traditions that can become part of the rebuilt relationship's fabric. These create a sense of continuity and stability as the couple crafts a new normal. Traditions and routines, whether daily, weekly, or annual, can create positive associations and memories that cement the couple's bond. They can range from simple daily acts of kindness to annual vacations, but their regularity and the mutual pleasure they bring are what make them powerful tools in reinforcing the partnership. Healing from infidelity is not a linear process, and setbacks are to be expected. Patience with oneself and each other, reassurances of commitment, and the willingness to return to the guiding principles laid out at the start of the reconciliation process are essential. Throughout the journey, both partners must remain vigilant about their actions, actively work on being emotionally present and supportive, and hold on to the strong sense of purpose that propelled them toward rebuilding in the first place. 5.9 Lessons learned from the experience. The aftermath of infidelity is often a period of intense emotional turmoil and cognitive dissonance. However, it is also a time in which individuals can gain profound insights and learn valuable lessons. These lessons stem from the challenges of navigating post-betrayal dynamics, which can include grappling with trust, personal growth, and understanding human relationships. As individuals work through the pain and confusion, they gain knowledge that can inform their future choices and interactions. One of the first lessons learned is the complexity of trust and its foundational role in relationships. Trust, once broken, is extremely difficult to repair. It requires time, patience, and consistent effort from both parties involved. Individuals who have been betrayed learn the importance of transparency and open communication for rebuilding trust. They tend to become more acutely aware of the actions and commitments required to maintain and restore trust. Furthermore, those who have engaged in infidelity may recognize the weight of their actions and the far-reaching implications betrayal can have on a partner's ability to trust in the future. Another lesson centers around the process of forgiveness, which can be an arduous journey with no set endpoint. Through confronting infidelity, individuals learn that forgiveness is not necessarily synonymous with reconciliation or condoning hurtful behavior. Rather, it is a personal endeavor to release anger and resentment. Doing so often involves a deliberate decision to move forward, with or without the other person. Forgiveness is revealed as a crucial step in healing, not just for the sake of the relationship, but for the individual's mental and emotional health as well. Individuals also come to understand the nuances of emotional resilience. The experience of dealing with infidelity tests one's ability to cope with adversity. Through navigating the fallout, individuals discover their own strength and capacity to recover from setbacks. They learn about the strategies that help them to regain a sense of control and equilibrium, such as seeking support from loved ones, engaging in self-care, and perhaps consulting professional help. The process thus teaches the value of resilience and its role in surmounting life's obstacles. Reflection on personal values and boundaries becomes another significant lesson. Infidelity often prompts individuals to reassess what they find acceptable in a relationship and what constitutes a deal breaker. This introspection can lead to clearer understandings of what each person needs from their partner, contributing to healthier relationships moving forward. Those affected may establish stronger boundaries and become more adept at communicating these to others, ensuring that their personal standards are respected and met. The examination of the root causes of infidelity can reveal insights into relationship dynamics and individual needs that were not being fulfilled. Both the betrayed and the betrayer might learn about the myriad factors that can contribute to infidelity, such as emotional or physical neglect, lack of intimacy, or personal dissatisfaction. Recognizing these underlying issues allows people to address problems more constructively in the future, instead of resorting to harmful behaviors that compromise relationship integrity. Moreover, the experience of infidelity often leads to growth in emotional intelligence. Individuals gain a better understanding of not only their emotions, but those of others. This heightened awareness can foster deeper empathy, aiding people in becoming more attuned to the emotional landscape of their relationships. Consequently, this can lead to more meaningful connections with partners, as individuals learn to navigate and communicate emotions effectively. The development of coping strategies for dealing with pain and betrayal is another crucial lesson learned. Individuals discover a range of techniques for managing their emotional responses, which might include mindfulness practices, therapeutic writing, or physical activity. These tools can serve as invaluable assets for handling future stresses and mitigating the impact of emotional upheaval. An unexpected lesson from the fallout of infidelity is the possibility of positive transformation. Some individuals find that the experience, while undoubtedly painful, can lead to significant personal growth and improved self-awareness. As they rebuild their lives, they may uncover strengths they were previously unaware of, develop new interests, and forge new paths for their future. This transformative aspect can lead to a more fulfilled and authentic life, resonating well beyond the context of any one relationship. Finally, experiencing the fallout of infidelity often brings about a reevaluation of one's social support network. The reactions of friends and family can be eye-opening and can lead to a restructuring of these relationships. Individuals learn the importance of surrounding themselves with empathetic and supportive people who respect their healing process and provide the necessary support. Through this reevaluation, stronger and more reliable support systems are often built. Ultimately, the lessons learned from the experience of infidelity are as varied as the individuals involved. The process of confronting betrayal and its aftermath teaches lessons about trust, forgiveness, resilience, personal values, relationship dynamics, emotional intelligence, coping strategies, transformation, and social support. These insights can pave the way for personal growth and stronger, healthier relationships in the future. The ordeal of infidelity, while laden with distress, thus has the potential to serve as a catalyst for profound learning and enduring change. 5.10 Accountability and Responsibility in Healing. Accountability and responsibility are pivotal concepts in the process of healing from infidelity. When betrayal occurs in a relationship, the partner who has been unfaithful must acknowledge their actions and their impact on their partner and the relationship. This recognition is the first step towards taking accountability. It involves an honest and often painful examination of one's own behavior and the decisions that led to the affair. The unfaithful partner's willingness to accept responsibility for the infidelity is a signal that they are ready to participate in the process of mending the relationship, should both parties choose to do so. When an individual assumes responsibility, they must do more than simply admit to wrongdoing. They must also demonstrate a willingness to understand the gravity of their actions. This can be particularly challenging, as it requires them to empathically engage with their partner's pain and the relational turmoil caused. It means recognizing not just the act of infidelity, but also how the betrayal has violated trust, shattered security, and disrupted the emotional equilibrium in their relationship. Genuine accountability is about empathy and the commitment to engage with the healing process on an emotional level. A process that supports accountability is the full disclosure of the events that constituted the infidelity. It involves the unfaithful partner providing an honest account of their actions, which, while difficult for both parties, is an essential step for rebuilding trust. The partner who was betrayed needs information in order to make sense of what happened and to assess the state of the relationship. Full disclosure can be guided by a therapist or counselor who can create a safe space for this difficult conversation, ensuring that it does not devolve into a destructive or blame-centered exchange. Healing from infidelity requires consistent, sustained effort over time. The partner who committed the infidelity must not only take responsibility initially, but has to continue to do so throughout the entire healing process. This involves being patient with their partner's emotions, reliably fulfilling promises, and making a concerted effort to rebuild trust through their actions. This is not a linear process, and setbacks can occur. The unfaithful partner must be prepared to recommit to the process each time a setback occurs, demonstrating through consistent behavior their commitment to their partner and the relationship. In addition to taking accountability for past actions, the unfaithful partner must demonstrate an understanding of the triggers and circumstances that led to the infidelity. This requires deep self-reflection and often guidance from a professional, such as a therapist. By identifying patterns or situations that may have contributed to their decision to cheat, the unfaithful partner can work to change those behaviors and make choices that support the relationship. This also contributes to preventing future instances of infidelity, showing their partner that they are taking concrete steps to protect the relationship. The betrayed partner also has a role to play in the healing process, though their responsibility is of a different nature. While the onus of the infidelity is not on them, their response to it and their participation in the healing process is crucial. For healing to occur, they need to consciously engage in the process, expressing their feelings and needs openly. They may also need to examine the relationship as a whole to understand how they will move forward. This can be an emotionally taxing process and requires strength and self-care. Forgiveness is an aspect of healing that may come with time and should not be rushed. Both partners should understand that forgiveness is a personal journey. One cannot demand forgiveness, nor should they offer it inauthentically. The betrayed partner may grapple with feelings of anger, hurt, and confusion, which are natural, and the process of working through these emotions is individual and cannot be dictated by the unfaithful partner. On the other hand, the unfaithful partner must respect their partner's timeline for forgiveness if it does indeed come. Professional help can be invaluable in the process of healing from infidelity. Therapists who specialize in marital infidelity can provide strategies and frameworks for dialogue and recovery. Bringing in a neutral third party can help to keep conversations constructive and focused on healing. Professionals can also help individuals and couples to work through their emotions in a healthy way, offering support and perspective that is difficult to achieve on one's own. Maintaining honesty and open communication moving forward is essential. The path to recovery from infidelity involves creating a new, stronger foundation for the relationship, which cannot be built on lies or half-truths. Both partners must commit to an ongoing dialogue about their needs, feelings, expectations, and boundaries. This ongoing conversation fosters intimacy and trust, and is an indicator that both partners are taking active roles in rebuilding the relationship. The journey of healing from infidelity is arduous and can test the limits of both individuals. It requires both the betrayer and the betrayed to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and their relationship. Importantly, accountability and responsibility are not just about addressing the past, but are ongoing commitments that must be renewed daily. Through a steadfast commitment to this process, it is possible for a relationship to emerge from the shadow of infidelity, not unchanged, but in many cases, stronger and more resilient for having navigated the difficult path of recovery together.